Okay, so we can start. So nagre-record na din yung ating discussion for today. So in this topic, worded problem in conic section, mag-discuss tayo ng 4 na worded problem. Okay, and these are the objectives of our discussion for today. So we're going to illustrate problems about conic section. Pag sinabi natin conic section, circle, parabola, ellipse, hyperbola, yung 4 na yun. And then, we're going to use Polya's method in solving worded problem. So, hindi na tayo basta magsusolve ng problem. No? Tayo ay gagamit ng method. And that method is the Polya's method. And then next, we're going to solve for the given worded problem about, actually hindi lang yung ellipse, no? Nasulat lang yung ellipse. But that should be about conic section. Okay. So now, let's proceed. So Polya's method. So in some cases, yung iba sa inyo familiar na dito sa Polya's method. Polya's method is very popular when it comes to solving worded problem. Bakit po? Okay, so kasi kompleto na yung method ng Polya's method. Okay, so though in your elementary years, you already experienced solving problem using the what is asked, what is given, para mga ganon. Okay? And that is also a way to solve problem. However, pagdating natin sa mga higher level of education, Polya's method is a simplified. So, mas simplified siyang method. Konti lang yung kanyang steps. Ang kailangan lang natin gawin ay intindihin yung mga steps na sinasabi dito sa Polya's method. The first method is to understand the problem. Okay? So, understanding the problem is a big question for the learner. Okay, so bakit po? Kasi pag sinabi nating understand problem, paano mo ba masasabi na naintindihan mo talaga yung problem? Kasi if in the beginning, hindi mo na siya naintindihan yung problem natin, no, magkakaroon na tayo ng problema talaga niyan. Kasi hindi siya, hindi ka na makakausad. No? And even makausad ka, kung hindi mo talaga naintindihan yung problem, you are doing solution for the wrong answer. Okay, so nagagawa ka ng solution, hindi naman yun pala yung tinatanong. Okay, so para malaman natin kung naintindihan natin yung problem, kailangan ma-illustrate natin yung problem. Pag sinabi natin illustrate, okay, so talagang magdo-drawing. Okay, so in math kasi, ang rule of thumb natin, a well-drawn problem is a half-solved problem. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pag na-drawing mo ng tama yung problem, na-solve mo na siya ng kalahati kasi tama lahat yung illustration. Okay? Not in all cases magdo-drawing, pero yung drawing, that is very useful. Sa conic section, drawing talaga meron lahat. Okay? So, this happen, lahat ng nasa conic section, magdo-drawing tayo. And next, devise a plan. So, paano natin gagawin yung devise a plan? When we're devising a plan to solve a worded problem, we will represent the problem using equation. So, dito, gagamit tayo ng equation. Okay? So, the problem regarding worded problem, ang iniisip agad ng estudyante mahirap. No? So, magiging mahirap agad, hindi siya agad maintindihan. Well, in fact, kapag the worded problem, it is rooted from your previous discussion. So since na nasa end part na tayo ng conic section, ang ating previous discussion ay conics. So ibig sabihin, expect that you will use the standard equation for circle, for parabola, for ellipse, and hyperbola. Ganun lang. Wala kang ibang equation na hahanapin. Okay? So, we're going to represent lang. Okay, next. Carry out the plan. So pag sinabi natin carry out the plan, you're going to solve the equation. Okay, so kasi yung equation, it shows a relationship in the problem. Okay, and then, yung third step natin, carry out the plan. So kaya mo ginawa yung equation na yun kasi you're going to use that eventually. Okay, so it's either going to solve for one specific variable on that problem, or you're going to apply the basic principles in that specific equation. So yun yung purpose ng carry out the plan natin. And the next, look back. So, as a rule of thumb, in problem solving, dapat nag-check tayo ng sagot natin. Paano natin mas-check kung tama yung sagot natin? Una, check mo kung yung bang na-solve mo ay yun talaga yung hinahanap sa problem. Pangalawa, okay, so pag sinabing equation, dapat pag sinubstitute mo yung value na na-compute mo, you come up with a equal relation. Hindi pwedeng pagka-substitute mo, hindi naging equal. Okay, so it doesn't make sense. So now, these were the 4 steps. Understand the problem, devise a plan, carry out the plan, and then look back. Simple lang yan. Okay? And maraming type ng problem. Okay? So maraming tayong type ng problem sa conic section. So ang pinokus ko lang na problem dito ay yung mga problem kung saan mag-set or mag-identify tayo ng isang specific point that will use to solve the problem. Okay? So kasi maraming iba't ibang klaseng problem pagdating sa math. Okay? So case alamin natin lahat, mahirap naman yung case natin, no? Ang gawin na natin, alam tayo ng isa, and then from there, okay, so you will grow understanding the principle of conic section. Kahit isa lang naman pwede, as long as nagigets talaga natin kung paano yun nangyayari. So now, let's proceed with the problem under circle. Okay, it's our problem. A Ferris wheel is elevated 1 meter above the ground. When a car reaches the highest point on the Ferris wheel, its altitude from the ground level is 31 meters. How far away from the center horizontally is the car when it is at an altitude of 25 meters? Okay. The first thing that we're going to do, let's look for some technicalities. Pagka meron kayong word na sa palagay nyo, troublesome sa inyo, yung pag binasa mo yung word na yun, medyo hindi mo magets yung problem, you should ask for that. Okay? That's the first thing to do. Alamin mo muna kung yung palagay mo nagkakaroon ng problem dito para maintindihan mo siya. In some cases, hindi pa sa inyo maaari technical sa word na altitude. Okay? So, kasi dalawang beses siya ginamit dito sa problem. What do you mean by altitude? So, pag sinabi natin altitude, so this is the perpendicular line, okay, so from the ground. Pag sinabi natin perpendicular, ito yung isang straight na line na nagkaroon ng assumption degree of 90 degrees. So that is an altitude. So sa madaling sabi, pag sinabi mong altitude, vertical line yan from whatever it is. Okay? So ganun lang siya kasi altitude, linya na vertical. Okay, so ibig sabihin, kapag nakasakay ka sa aeroplano, altitude ang binibilang din. Kasi nasa taas ka, you are above the ground. Suppose that there's an airplane here. Okay, so altitude yun. So, dito in the problem, we use the word altitude to describe 2 different things. The first one is the highest point in the Ferris wheel, and the second one is the altitude of the car na interest natin. Okay, so if we understand the problem, ang problema lang talaga natin dito ay kung gaano daw kalayo yung car horizontally. Okay? So now, to illustrate that, mahirap kasi mag-imagine lang. So we're going to illustrate the problem. So we have our Ferris wheel. Sabi natin sa problem kanina, it is 1 meter above the ground. So we all know that this is 1 meter. Yan yung ating measurement dyan. And then, total altitude daw na to sa ground is 31 meter. So kasama na yung 1 meter above. Okay? And next, ito, suppose that this is our car. Okay, so ito kasi yung interest car natin eh. Ito daw is 25 meters naman. 25 meters. Okay, so ito yung car natin. So the problem is, gaano daw kalayo itong car dito horizontally? Dito sa pinaka-main na, ito sa pinaka-gitna niya, gaano daw kalayo yung car natin? Kasi ang alam mo lang, 25 meters yung taas niya. Ang tanong, gaano siya kalayo kung sa gitna? Okay, so that is our problem. So, to illustrate that further, so gagamit tayo ng partition plane. Base muna natin itong parts na to. Okay. So, in our Cartesian plane, so, sinimplified lang natin yung drawing natin. Okay? So, kung mapapansin natin, circle na yung drawing natin, hindi na siya Ferris wheel. Because that's the main principle. Circle naman talaga siya. And then, ano yung mga tip ko sa inyo dito? Ang mga tip ko sa inyo dito, una, pagka mag-illustrate tayo ng problem, tandaan nyo na i-assume natin na siya ay nasa vertex at set yung nasa gitna. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, nandito lang siya. It lies between here. Okay? So, hindi tayo gagamit ng circle na nakalagay dito. Okay? So, hindi dito, hindi dito, o hindi dito. So, more or less, lagi tayong nasa 0 dito. Yan lang tayo lagi magsisimula. Yan tayo lagi magdodrawing. Huwag nyo ilalayo dyan. Kasi pagka nag-drawing kayo, tapos kung saan nyo nilagay, malilito kayo. Dapat hindi gano'n. Next. Okay, so sabi natin, 1 meter above the ground. So this first part is 0, 1. Okay, bakit po? Kasi 1 meter above the ground na siya. And then, ito ay 31. 0.31. It makes sense, no? So, kasi 31 siya mula dito sa taas, papunta dito sa baba. So, yung sinabi kasi nating 31, dapat maintindihan natin na yung 31 ay kasama yung tangkay ng Ferris wheel. Hindi ibig sabihin ng 31 yung buong Ferris wheel dun, no? Remember na yung tangkay is 1 meter. So, more or less, the diameter of the Ferris wheel is 30. No? So, alam natin na the diameter is 30. Kasi yung 1 meter sa 31 ay tangkay. Kaya dapat hindi siya isama. 30 lang talaga yung diameter. So, with that information, we can have the following. So, the center of our Ferris wheel has the coordinate of 0.16. Bakit nagkaroon tayo ng 0.16? So, pag binilang lang naman natin to dito, this is 31, this is 1. Pag binilang niyo yung units na to, it has 30 units. So, ngayon, 30 units, edi bilangan nyo lang kung ano yung pang 15 units. Okay? So, kaya siya naging 16. Okay? So, you can verify that. No? Pwede nyo siya i-drawing. Wala tayong problema dyan. Kung may tanong kayo, kung meron kayong pagdududa doon sa naging sagot, pwede nyo i-verify sa sarili mo. Kasi baka naglalaban sa isip nyo, hindi po ba 0.15? No, yung iba, no? Hindi po ba 0.15? Actually, hindi siya 0.15 kasi nagsimula ka sa 1, hindi ka nagsimula sa 0. Kahit sabihin natin na ang diameter natin ay 30, kaso nagsimula ka dito sa 1. Remember, elevated ng 1 meter yung ating Ferris wheel. Kaya hindi siya magiging 0.15 as the center. It should be 0.16. Next. Our radius is 15. This is an obvious answer since ang relationship ng diameter and the radius is half as length. Okay, so ibig sabihin natin yung diameter to find out or to figure out for the value of the radius. Since na 30 yan, alam natin na ang radius natin ay 15. Next, how about for this one? P. So P is just a point. Okay, so P is a point. So ang team kasi nitong problem na mga pinili ko is you're going to use the conic equation, and to solve it further, you're going to identify a point. So sa madaling sabi, another tip ko sa inyo, lagi kayong mag-identify ng isang point dito sa lahat ng problem na ituturo ko. Yung kasi yung team, ang mga problem kasi may team yan. Okay, so may team yan. Maaaring yung team niya, for illustration lang. Okay, so just happen dito sa pinili kong team ng problem ay pipili kayo ng isang point doon sa ating illustration. Okay? So, kung ang tanong, sir, ibig po ba sabihin kami yung pipili? Hindi. I-identify nyo siya. Yung iba naman kasing, sa problem naman natin, sinabi may 25. Ito yung car, di ba? So, therefore, there is a point. There is a coordinate points ng car. So, madaling sabi, yung ating paraan para ma-solve ito, okay, ay gagamitin natin itong principle na to, itong point na to. Malaki ang gamit ng point na yan. Because that will be used to answer the problem. Kasi ang problem natin, remember, gaano kalayo itong point na to dito sa gitna horizontally. So this should be x. Okay. If you're wondering, bakit po 25? Naging 25 yung ating coordinate points. Naging 25 siya dahil pagka binilang natin ito mula dito vertically hanggang doon sa pinakababa, it has 25 units. Kaya siya y25. Kung bakit naman walang value to, kasi nga isosolve pa lang natin siya. Okay? So now, since it was illustrated, okay, so I will give you 30 seconds. If you have question, pwede nyo siyang i-chat dito sa ating chat. Kung wala po tayong question after 30 seconds, we're going to proceed with the next part. Okay, so 30 seconds starts now. Kung ayaw nyo naman mag-chat, okay lang din kahit mag-open kayo ng mic. So, as soon as 30 seconds lang tayo. 30 seconds, I will wait for your questions. Mukhang wala tayong tanong. Okay, so now let's proceed with the next part. Okay, so in the next part, we're going to devise a plan. Represent the problem using equation. So since na ito is circle, we're going to use the equation for the circle. So, ito yung equation natin sa circle. Sana wala pa nakakalimutan ito. This is our equation. And then, our equation states that the quantity x minus h plus y minus k quantity squared is equal to r squared. So this is the standard equation for hk of circle. So ngayon, i-substitute natin yung mga alam nating value kanina. Nag-substitute tayo ng 15. Bakit po? Kasi yan yung ating radius. I-square siya kasi nga, ang pinag-uusapan na natin this time is the standard equation. And then, meron din tayong 16. Bakit po? Kasi yung center natin, remember the center is 0, 16. Okay, so nakuha natin ito 16. So ngayon, this is the equation that we're going to use to solve for the problem. Remember that the problem here, gaano kalayo itong car dito. Okay, so ganoon lang siya kasimple. Okay? So, in real life, pagka susukatin mo yun, nahihirap yun, di ba? Kasi, lalagay, malaki yan, 25 meters. Malaki yan. No? So, kaya it is useful to represent problem using principle ng coding section. Kasi it will really ease the situation. Instead na umakyat yung mga tao para sukatin yan, or you can use the principle given the facts, yung ating mga measurement. Okay, so now, carry out the plan. Solve using the equation. So this is our equation from the previous presentation. So we have y squared plus 40y minus 16 square is equal to 15. So nakuha natin itong 16 dahil yan ay center, and this is the value of the radius. Next, lalagyan natin yung value ng 25. Pasin natin mabuti dito. Nagkaroon na ng value yung 25. Or nagkaroon na rather ng value yung y. This is unusual. Kung mapapansin niyo yung mga dating discussion natin, hindi nagkakaroon ng value yung x tsaka y. Tanda, pasin niyo yun. However, in real life situation, siya ay nagkakaroon ng value. Bakit? O kasi nga, we assume that there is a point. Okay, so in the problem, there is a point. Point x, 25. Okay, so kaya ngayon, yung value ng y na 25, nilagay na natin dito. Okay, so ganoon na siya kasimple. Then next, we have x squared is equal to 15 squared minus 9 squared. So paano nangyari nagkaroon ng 9 squared? So we just simplify this one, 25 minus 16. That is 9 squared. 9 squared is equal to 15 squared. And 15 squared minus 9 squared is equal to 144. Okay, so you can check that out on your calculator. And para ma-identify yung value ng x natin na hinahanap natin kanina, we're going to square root pa. Okay, so bakit po kailangan natin i-square root? Kasi remember, in the problem, ang hinahanap lang naman natin ay value ng x. Ito ay x squared. So hopefully at this period, alam niyo na yung pinagkaiba ng x squared at ng x. If we're looking for the value of variable x, x lang. Now, so we're going to square root that. Pagka x squared yung hinahanap natin sa problem, you can use the value 144. However, in the problem, we are pertaining to the value of x lang. Yung distance lang ng car horizontally. Okay? And then, kung mapapasin nyo, sir, bakit po positive 12? Di ba po, pag nag-square root, nagiging positive, negative. In pre-calculus, if you just observe, you're using the principal square root. Laging positive lang yung square root natin. Okay? So therefore, ang layo ng car, okay, so dun sa ating Ferris wheel, this is our interest car, ang layo niya doon sa ating gitna, horizontally, is 12 meters. Okay? So 12 meters. Imagine that, kaysa umakyat ka doon sa car, no? Okay, so that's not practical. Pwede mo naman siya makompute sa ganitong paraan. Okay, so this is very useful. No? Napasin natin mga elevated, ano yan, no? Mga elevated. Wala akong makita sa presentation. Okay. Okay na raw yung kay Badis. Okay, so this is elevated structures. Okay? So now, checking. So paano natin siya mag-check? So you can check this out using 12 square plus 25 minus 16 square equals 15 square. Okay, so since na ito yung na-compute natin yung value ng x natin, substitute lang natin siya dyan, dapat maging sagot dyan 15 square. Okay? So yun yung dapat maging sagot dyan. Pag hindi yan naging equal sa 15 square, there's something wrong. Okay? So now, I will give you again 30 seconds to ask me questions regarding our first problem. Bago tayo mag-proceed sa parabola. Okay, so 30 seconds. Kung wala tayong tanong, we're going to proceed with our next problem. So meron tayong 4 na problem dyan. Okay, so as you can see, we have our Master Teacher 2, si Sir Ned Ruda, as our observer in today's discussion. Okay? So sana nga dapat mas marami pa tayo para mas maganda yung ating discussion. Okay? So now, kung wala tayong tanong regarding circles, let's proceed with parabola. Okay, so sa parabola, we have this problem. A satellite dish has a shape called paraboloid, okay, where each cross-section is a parabola. Since radio signals parallel to the x-axis will bounce off the surface of the dish to the focus, the receiver should be placed at the focus. How far should the receiver be from the vertex if the dish is 12 feet across and 4.5 feet deep at the vertex? Okay, so let's understand the problem. So the problem states that there is a paraboloid shape. From the word itself, concern natin, parabola. Next. Maraming mga additional information dito, but thing is, kailangan matanggal niyo yung ibang mga words na nagpapahaba lang doon sa problem. Ang sinabi lang naman dito, okay, ang pinaka-main problem lang naman dito, how far should be the receiver, okay, from the vertex. So, baka iba sa inyo, sir, medyo malabo po. Hindi ko maintindihan kung ano ibig sabihin ng receiver from the vertex. Okay, so remember that it is a satellite. Alam naman natin siguro itsura ng satellite, di ba? So, a satellite looks like this one. Okay, so that is a satellite. So, according to the problem, hindi pa nako-construct kung gaano kataas yung pinakagitna ng ating satellite. Okay, so hindi pa siya nako-construct. Ang tanong, gaano dapat daw kataas yung ating satellite? Kung ang gusto natin ay ma-place siya as the focus of the paraboloid satellite. Okay, so ibig sabihin, ang kailangan na natin mahanap dito ay yung value ng ating C. Remember that the focus is C units away from the vertex. Diba? Basic principle ng parabola. Okay? So, ganoon na siya kasimple. What we're going to try to do here is to find for the value of C. Okay? So, ngayon, ang tanong. Sir, bakit may mga dito pa? 12 feet across, 4.5 feet deep. Okay? So, i-drawing natin siya para mas mag-gets natin. So, this is the illustration of the parabola or the satellite with a paraboloid shape. Okay, so ganyan yung itsura niya. And then, kung mapapasin natin bakit ganito yung itsura ng mga signal. So sabi kasi doon sa problem, yung paraboloid daw, pag tumama siya doon sa kahit saang bahagi, no, tatama siya lagi doon sa focus. Okay, so actually that's another principle of parabola. Okay, so na yung focus, the focus is very important kasi doon siya tatama lahat. Okay? And then, we can further illustrate this one using a Cartesian plane. So this is our Cartesian plane. And then we can analyze now yung ating mga given kanina para sabi natin na nagets talaga natin yung problem. Sabi natin sa problem, there is a 12 feet across. 12 feet daw yung pinakalawak ng buka ng ating parabola. So just like this one. So this is 12 feet. Ano? Sir, bakit po 6 ang nakalagay kung 12? Kasi we have here negative 6 to positive 6. Okay? So that is 12 units away from each other. Kung ang tanong, sir, bakit po tayo gumamit ng negative 6? Hindi na lang tayo gumamit ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, guys, na ang hint sa pag-i-illustrate dapat lagi kang nasa origin, di ba? Sinabi ko niya kanina, di ba? Okay, so dapat nasa origin, nakikita natin yung origin para hindi tayo mahihirapan. Kasi if you illustrate the problem, okay, so if you illustrate the problem nang wala sa origin, we're going to arrive at the same answer but with different illustration. Kasi inusog mo pa siya eh. Pwede naman siya doon sa gitna. It is simplified. In worded problem kasi, wag mong gagawin komplikado yung problem. Pag ginawa mo siyang komplikado, mahirapan ka. Okay? So since nang hinahanap lang naman natin yung value ng C, ano naman yan eh, consistent naman yan sa lahat ng definition. C is the distance from the focus and the vertex. Consistent naman siya sa definition. Okay? So kaya, para mas maging simple, dito na lang tayo sa may center 0, 0. Okay? That's why, gumamit tayo ng negative 6 to positive 6 dito. And then, we choose a point. Okay, so remember that's our technique. Our technique is choosing a point. Choosing a point, illustrating it in the center or in the origin, and then choosing a point. So here, we choose a point 6 and 4.5. Bakit po? Okay, so ito yung naging 6 dahil nga ito yung dulo ng ating paraboloid na bukas. And then 4.5, kung magtataka ka, bakit may 4.5 dito? Kasi ang sabi natin, the paraboloid is 4.5 feet deep. Ibig sabihin, ganun siya kalalim. So, yung 4.5 also indicate yung ating lalim. Yung lalim nitong paraboloid shape. This is 4.5 feet. Okay? And then, as our technique, we choose a point. Ito lagi yung mga technique natin, di ba? Sana natatandaan natin. Kasi pagka nag-illustrate tayo ng problem, yan na naman yung mga dapat yung tandaan para mas madali siya ma-solve. Okay, so illustrate it in the center, 0, 0, nawawalan ng internet. Okay, so I understand that there's a problem regarding the internet. No worries because this meeting is recorded. Okay, so gagawa ko ng paraan para mas mapalit siya malagay ko doon sa Messenger. Okay, so same with Kirby. Ayan, bumalik na siya. Okay, so now, let's proceed with the next one. Okay, so we have our point 6 and 4.5, and then we are looking for the value of C para ma-solve ang ating problem. So now, we're going to use the equation. Kailangan gagamit ka muna ng equation. Okay, so our equation for the parabola is x squared is equal to 4cy. And then, since identified natin ang value ng x natin bilang 6, and then ang value ng y bilang 4.5, so we substitute those values in our equation, standard equation for parabola. And then, ang goal natin ma-solve yung C mamaya. So nakita na natin yung C dito. So ibig sabihin, we are doing great towards our goal. Ang goal kasi natin mahanap yung value ng C para mahanap ang position ng ating focus. Now, so we're going to solve using the equation. So from here, okay, so sinubstitute natin yung mga known values natin. Kung kasi natin, pinalitan natin yung x, naging 6. Kasi nga yun yung technique na ginagamit natin, the point, yung pipili tayo ng isang point, okay, and then we're going to use that, okay, para ma-solve yung ating problem. And y is 4.5, and then we solve for c. To solve for c, we divide both sides by 4 times 4.5. Just like this one, nag-divide tayo. Okay, so we divide both sides by 4 times 4.5, and then we got this one, and simplify it further, so the value of C is 2. So ngayon, alam natin na ang length ng focus from the vertex should be 2 feet. Okay, so since feet yung ating ginamit na unit of measurement dito, 2 feet yung height ng focus natin away from the vertex. And that is the answer in our problem. Okay, so simple lang siya, tama ba? Okay, so now I will give you again 30 seconds kung may mga tanong kayo regarding this one. Okay, so kung wala tayong tanong, so let's proceed again with the checking. So checking natin, dapat equal lang siya sa 6 squared or 36. 4 times 2 times 4.5, if you check that, that is equal to 36. Now, let's proceed with the ellipse. Okay, so sa ellipse, since na ang ellipse ay isa sa may pinakamaraming parts pagdating sa conic section, dapat maliwanag din dito yung understanding natin ng relationship ng mga lengths ng ating elliptical shape. Okay, so this is our problem. A tunnel has the shape of semi-ellipse that is 15 feet high at the center and 36 feet across the base. At most, how high should a passing truck be if it's 12 feet wide or if able to fit through the tunnel? Round up your answer to 2 decimal places. So in our problem, so there is a tunnel. Okay, so familiar naman siguro tayo sa mga tunnel. Okay, so wala ka naman nakitang tunnel na butas hanggang ilalim. Okay, so kaya nga tinawag dito yung tunnel natin ay semi-ellipse. Okay, so ibig sabihin, we understand na kalahati lang siya. Kung tunnel siya na ellipse, yan, parang ganyan na siya. Kalahati na. And then, according to the problem, it is 15 feet high. So vertically, it has 15 feet high. Ganun kataas. Then next, across the base has 36 feet. Ibig sabihin, ang lapad niya ay 36 feet. Ngayon, the problem here is this. Kung mayroon daw truck na dadaan na 12 feet wide, ganun siya kalapad. Sobrang lapad ng truck. 12 feet wide. Okay? So, hanggang saan lang daw yung height na kayang tanggapin ng ating tunnel? Okay, so knowing that the truck is 12 feet high, 12 feet wide. Okay, so kasi hindi naman siya pwede maging 15 feet. Okay, so hindi siya pwede maging 15 feet kasi kung 15 feet yung truck, eh ang hugis ng truck ay yung mga kanakarga ng truck ay square. Kung 15 feet din yung truck, eh di tumama na yung kanto dito. Okay, so that's why we should know the allowance. That's the problem. Okay, so let us illustrate that further here. Okay, so we illustrate that. Okay, so tingnan natin mabuti. Here we use 15 since na ito yung ating height. And then 18, negative 18, 0. And then 0, positive 18. Dahil nga po, 36 yung lapad. So ngayon, we use here this 6. Okay, so you might wonder, sir, saan po nanggaling yung 6? Ang sabi kasi natin, 12 feet yung truck. So, kung 12 feet yung truck, ay ibig sabihin, we have 6 units here and then 6 units here. So since na ang ginagamit natin, again guys, ay center. Okay, so lagi tayo naka-centralize pagka nag-i-illustrate tayo ng problem. So para consistent tayo sa lahat ng problem na gagawin natin. Okay, so naka-centralize yung ating illustration. Kaya gumamit tayo ng 6. Okay, so kasi dahil dun sa 12. So ngayon, we have the following value. Ngayon, nagkaroon tayo ng value ng A. Ba't tayo nagkaroon ng value ng A? Remember that A, okay, so A is the measurement ng major axis kapag hinati. Okay, so kasi the whole major axis is 2A. Remember? Okay, so 2A kasi yan. So ngayon, yung kalahati ng major axis, ang length nun A lang. So ibig sabihin, A lang naman ang kailangan natin. So kaya nakuha natin si A. Okay? So sa madaling sabi, ito, mula dito sa gitna, papunta dito sa dulo, this is A. Okay? So pagka binuo mo yung buong major axis, remember, the major axis is the longest axis in the ellipse. Okay? Next, B. So what is B? So B is 15. So B is the minor axis. So remember, yung ating minor axis, ito yung ating nakatayong linya. It cut the ellipse vertically. Okay, so syempre, yung kalahati ng minor axis is B. Okay, so this is B naman. Okay, and then, bakit tayo nagkaroon ng point na 6y? Nagkaroon tayo ng point na 6y because as what I told you, lagi kang hanap ng isang point. Okay? So yung point na nakita natin dito is 6 and y. Bakit y? Okay, so kasi we are looking for the maximum height na pwedeng tanggapin ng ating planet. Okay? So we have here, okay, so this is the y. Nahanap natin yung y dyan. Okay? So, kung ang ginamit mo dito ay 12, mali ka na. So, mamamali ka na pagka ginamit mo yung 12. Okay, so kasi, ang illustration mo centralized. Always remember that. It depends upon the illustration. Kung hindi ka nag-centralize ng illustration at ang ginamit mo dyan ay yung talagang values niya, 1 to 18, okay, so, we will arrive at the same answer. However, okay, so, hindi ka na consistent kasi from the very beginning, lagi tayo centralized. Tsaka mas maganda yung centralized illustration. Okay? So ngayon, we're going to represent the problem using equation. So this is our equation of ellipse. And then this is the illustration. Ito yung mga na-substitute na natin yung value natin. In our earlier presentation, na alam natin na the value of A is 18. So ginamit na natin siya as 18 square. And then the value of B is 15. So ginamit na natin siya as 15 square. Okay? And we have this our illustration. So kung mapapansin nyo, paulit-ulit lang yung method natin. Kasi nga, isa lang ang team na ginamit ng mga problem na pinili ko. Kasi kanya-kanyang team yun. Okay, so ang team natin dito, so you're going to represent the problem and then the point will help you to solve the problem. Okay, so dito hindi pa tayo nagagamit ng point. Pero alam ko na yung iba sa inyo may idea na nagagamitin din natin ito mamaya. Itong point na pinili natin. Ngayon, gagamitin na natin yung point na pinili natin. So since na meron tayong 6y kanina, okay, so you might wonder, sir, bakit po naging n? Wala naman yan, sinulat lang na n. Kung ayaw yung sulat na n, hindi okay lang. It's just a representation, walang problem. Anyway, so it's just a representation. So kung ginamit sa solution natin ay n. No problem. Now, we're going to solve for n. Paano natin siya isosolve? Okay? So, what we did here, tinranspose natin itong part na to, nilagay natin siya dito. We have here negative 6 squared over 18 squared. And then, we divide both sides by 15. Okay? So, we multiply both sides by 15. Kaya nakakuha tayo nitong 15 squared. Okay? So, ito'y kaya natin gawin. So, kaya nyo yung gawin ni illustrate lang. So, simpleng ano lang naman yan. Problem solving. Okay, so konting algebra lang. The next, simplifying it further in your calculator, we will have the answer of 14.14 feet. So yun, ganun lang kataas yung kayang tanggapin ng kanan natin para hindi siya sumayad. 14.14 feet. Okay? Approximately. So kasi hindi naman susakto. Approximately lang. Okay, so now, 30 seconds guys. Question for the ellipse. Bawal ang tanong For the checking, so dapat pag sinubstitute niyo yung value kanina, it will have the value of 1. So since na-approximation na ngayon ginamit natin sa 14.14, expect that hindi siya saktong 1. Pero hindi siya sobrang layo. It might be 0.999 something or it might be 1.00 plus something. Okay, pero hindi siya malayo sa 1. Sobrang lapit na rin. Kasi approximation yun. Now, we're going to proceed with the last part natin, which is the hyperbola. Hyperbola. So, in this problem, more or less, pagka sinabi natin hyperbola, guys, hindi tayo masyado magsasolve dito. Kasi, remember that in the application of hyperbola, navigation yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. So, ngayon, we're going to read first the problem. An explosion is heard by two stations 1,200 meters apart, located at the f sub 1, negative 600, and f sub 2, 600. If the explosion was heard in f sub 1 2 seconds before it was heard in f sub 2, identify the problem of the possible location of the explosion. Use 340 meters per second as the speed of sound. None. Okay, so in identifying the problem or in understanding the problem, medyo madali lang siya. Bakit po? Sabi natin, there's an explosion. We do not know kung saan nanggaling ang explosion. Just sabi na there's an explosion at narinig yun sa dalawang station, station 1, station 2, na merong 1,200 feet o 1,200 meter apart. So, ganun kalayo yung distansya. Okay? So, hindi natin alam kung nasan yung dalawang station na yan. Example na yung dalawang station natin. Alam natin kung gaano sila kalayo sa isa't isa. And that's the principle of hyperbola. Okay? Next. We use that as f sub 1 and f sub 2. In this problem, masyado siyang madali kasi pinangalanan na natin siyang s sub 1 at f sub 2. It indicates that this is the focus of our hyperbola. Okay, so gano'n na siya kasimple, no? Kasi may f sub 1 na eh. Okay, so kung may f sub 1 ka na, it indicates na may c ka na rin. C, gano'n kasimple yung problem natin, hindi siya masyadong mahirap. And then, ang tinatanong lang dito sa problem natin, and then, in-illustrate pa, sabi, if the explosion was heard f sub 1 2 seconds before f sub 2. So, ibig sabihin, mas narinig daw na una yung pagsabog dito sa f sub 1 kaysa sa f sub 2. Hindi malamang nandito yung pagsabog. Somewhere lies here. It's lies somewhere here in the f sub 1. Bakit po? Narinig siya una doon eh. Remember that sound travel first. Okay? So kung mas malapit ka, mas muna mo maririnig. Mas malayo ka, mas matagal mo siyang maririnig. So yung explosion, nung sumabog siya, mas narinig siyang una dito sa f sub 1. It indicates that the location of the explosion lies, okay, so near the f sub 1. And the question here is so identify the possible location of the explosion. So kahit hindi pa nga natin siya sinasagutan, alam na natin yung possible location ng explosion. The possible location of the explosion according to this illustration is near f sub 1. Okay? So ngayon, ang kailangan na nating hanapin dito is to illustrate the hyperbolic equation. Kasi alam natin kung saan na kung nasaan yung possible location ng ating explosion. So ngayon, this is the illustration. Mapapasin natin, gumamit tayo ng 600 at negative 600. Same principle pa din dahil nga 0 yung ating center. So paulit-ulit tayo dito, sinasabi ko na kung ano man yung value natin siya lagi doon sa isang left side, isang right side with equal same value. hinahati lang natin sa gitna. Okay? And then, so ito yung assumption lang na nandito yung explosion. Maaaring nandito, okay? But it doesn't matter. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi pag hyperbola, remember that the distance from here and the distance from here, pagka pinag-subtract mo yung absolute value niya, it will always result the same. So, ibig sabihin, kahit nasan ka man dito, kahit nasan man ilagay ang explosion na yan, it will have the same. Okay, so it will have the same distance. Ibig sabihin, kahit nasan siya nakapwesto, 2 seconds pa rin lagi yung pagitan ng travel ng sound natin doon sa f sub 2. Kasi ganun yung principle ng hyperbola. Okay? Constant kasi yung result niyan eh. But it doesn't really matter kung nasa taas ba yan, nandito, no. Doesn't really matter. Ngayon, kung ang tanong kanina, nasan yung possible location, meron na tayong sagot. It lies in the left wing of our hyperbola. Nasa left wing siya. Bakit po nasa left wing? Kasi mas nauna siyang narinig doon sa f sub 1 kaysa sa f sub 2. So, there's a greater chance na mas malapit siya doon kung nasan man yung f sub 1. Ang alam lang naman natin sa f sub 1, nasa left siya. Yung f sub 2, nasa right siya. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Next, we have the following value. Okay, so pxy, so dito nag-less yung impact ng point natin. Bakit po? Kasi nga, yung principle ng hyperbola, kahit nasan siya nakalagay, kahit dito pa yung explosion mo dyan ilagay, parehas lang yan. Parehas lang na 2 seconds pa rin bago marinig dito. Kasi nga, yun yung principle ng hyperbola. Kaya kung lagi kinakakatin sa mga discussion ko, sabi ko na to dati doon sa principle ng hyperbola. Okay? And kahit naman sa hindi kayo nakatin, pag sinagutan niyo yung module, nakita niyo yung module, di ba nag-subtract kayo doon. So it indicates na yung difference ng distance from here and here will result the same. Next, C is 600. This is an obvious data. Kasi nga, may given na yung focus natin. And 2A is 680. You might wonder, saan nanggaling yung 680? Yung 680, nanggaling siya mula doon sa speed of sound. The speed of sound na ginamit natin dito ay 340. Okay? So, 340 yung speed of sound na ginamit natin. Bakit siya naging 680? Kasi, sabi natin, nung sumabog, 2 seconds, bumilang ka ng 2 seconds bago mo narinig doon sa isa pang stasyon. So, ibig sabihin, kung 340 times 2 seconds, that is equal to 680. Ganun yung layo ng A. So, bakit A yung ginamit natin? Ano ba yung A? If you remember in hyperbola, 2A is the length of our transversal axis. What is that? Okay, so transversal axis is the length from vertex to another vertex. This is our transversal axis. Ibig sabihin, nung may sumabog na hindi natin alam kung nasaan, okay? So we all know na nagkaroon tayo ng 2A equating to 680. Kasi yung receiver, hindi mo rin naman masasabi kung nasaan, di ba? It lies here. Okay? So now, meron na tayong mga values. Next tayo, devise a plan. So in our plan, so we will going to use the hyperbolic equation. And then, lalagyan lang natin ito ng value. Wala na tayo bang isusolve. Bakit po? Kasi wala ka namang point na na-identify xy yung point mo. Diba? Dahil xy yung point mo, xy ito eh. Dahil xy yung point mo, wala kang ibang isusolve, kundi i-represent mo lang yung ating equation. So, we have here the following. C is equal to 600. 2A is equal to 680. Kung inisip mo, sir, parang walang silbi yung C. Kasi wala naman C dito. However, gagamitin natin yung C para ma-solve yung B squared. Okay? We have A is equal to 340. Bakit siya nagkaroon ng 340? Kasi po, yung 2A ay equal sa, kasi diba yung 2A equal siya sa 680. So dividing both sides by 2, we will have A is equal to 340. Yan. So ngayon, paano natin nakuha yung B? Yung B square. So sinubtract lang natin si A square. So ibig sabihin, square mo to. And then, square mo yung 600. So this is the 600 square minus 340 square, and that is the answer, B square. Okay, so you can check that on your calculator. Okay, next. So this is our answer. Pag sinubstitute na natin yung mga value, x squared over 340 square minus y squared over 244,400 is equal to 1. Simplifying it further, so the final answer should be like this one. Okay. And then, okay, so kung ang tanong kanina, nasaan ang ating pagsabog? Nasa left wing. Ngayon, ito ang ating hyperbola. Ito yung patunay na hyperbola ang equation na lumabas from the situation. Okay, so now for 5 minutes, I will allow you to chat all of your clarification from our previous discussion para pag-usapan natin yan before we proceed with the ending of our discussion. Okay? So, konti lang naman kayo. Okay, tatawag-tawagin ko na kayo isa-isa. Okay, so Miss Crisanta Capis, is there any problem regarding the discussion? May gusto ba i-clarify? Miss Crisanta, huwag kayong mag-alala, hindi na to. Yung itong part na to, cut na to, pagka pinost ko to doon sa GC mo, cut na to. Any problem, Miss Capis? Wala. Denison, any clarification? Ano pa tayong clarification dyan, Denison?
Sir, okay na po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, so that's good. Okay.
Sir, wala na po, sir.
And then about for Ortad, is there any clarification?
Sir, wala na po, sir.
Okay, so that's good. So, mangyayari sa atin dito kapag nag-quiz tayo, yan, kasama yan. No? Inisip ko, naku, kawawa naman yung mga hindi naka-attend. Anyways, na natin. Okay, so gagawa na lang tayo ng plan. Kasama kasi ito doon sa inyong competency. And then, hindi din naman kayo pwedeng makalagpas ng, isipin niyo, engineering courses kayo tapos hindi kayo marunong mag-worded problem. Parang mahirap ata yun. No? So kasi pagdating sa engineering field, worded problem is very important. Okay, so kasi it shows the mastery of the topic. Okay, so kasi ito katulad nito, sobrang simpleng worded problem. No? Ito, madali lang siya. Pero kung wala ka talagang idea dito, kung paano siya, yung technique, kung paano siya sasagutan, no? Naku, magkakaroon tayo ng problema niya. Wala kang masasagutan dyan sa apat na yan. Kung wala kang idea kung paano siya sasagutan, kung ano yung technique. Okay, so that's why, yung pagsasagot ng worded problem is just a matter of technique. Mas marami